So what do you need for a good retirement? There are a few different models out there. So many of you will have heard of the 4% rule, which is basically take 4% of whatever your pension savings are out each year, adjusted for inflation. That's a very popular one. Another one I've heard recently is when working out what you'll need for retirement is look at what 80% of what you're earning now or earning on the day you retire and try and match that. It seems quite far-fetched to me, but it's another common one. And another one, if you're not using your mobile phone to watch this video, grab your mobile phone out and open the calculator app. Okay, get ready for this. What we're going to do is just work something out. So the average pensioner here in the UK earns £2,200 a month. And I like working in months because we can all think in months, can't we? You can think about what our monthly expenditure is. So the average pensioner earns £2,200 a month. According to the Office for National Statistics, if you want to retire comfortably, that needs to be £3,500 a month. So that means many of our British pensioners aren't living comfortably. I had a look at kind of my numbers, and I think I'd be more comfortable with £4,000 a month. Now, what you need to do is get whatever that number is for you. So for me, it's 4,000. So I'm going to tap 4,000 into my phone here, multiply it by 375. Okay, that's how much you need to retire. So for me, that comes at 1.5 million. Quite a simplistic number, really. It hides a huge amount of detail. So, when I try and work out what I've only got about 130 in my SIP, but, I've got 4 or 5 other DB pensions, defined benefit pensions. I've got my state pension coming in 12 years or so. So a lot of detail behind, but there's some of the numbers. But actually, the real point of this video is to talk about some of the other things you're going to need in retirement. So when you ask people who've been retired for some time what they needed for their retirement, I think there's 2 things that come up, and one is friendships and relationships. So what I want to start investing in is more family time, more friend time, so that when I do retire, I'm not going to be sitting around wondering what to do. I'm going to be building on them relationships. I'm going to be meeting with family more. I'm going to be meeting with friends more and spending more time with people, really, because I think that's where a lot of happiness comes from. The other thing that people mention when you talk to them about what they really needed for retirement is health. We've all heard of horror stories of people who've worked really, really hard all their life, and on their 65th birthday, they've got a couple of million saved up in their pension. They go out and buy a yacht, pull out into the English Channel, and die of a heart attack. And the last thing I want to do is to retire and then find I'm limited in my mobility because I can't get around as well as I did because my weight's got out of hand, or I've got a bad back or arthritis or something like that. So what I really want to start investing in now and saving for is my health. So I'm going to think a lot more about my diet. I'm going to think a lot more about my fitness. I'm going to invest in that. So I'm going to invest in people, family, relationships, and I'm going to invest in my own health. And I think they're the 2 most important things that I'm going to put in my investment plan. Tertiary to them 2 things will be how much I've got in my SIP. Important, of course, and I talk about pensions a lot on this channel, but it's important not to forget them other 2 things, which are, I would say, much more important than the amount that you've got left in your bank account at the end of the month.